everyone, welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studio, and today for our premiere we are talking about embellishments. Now, first off, I want to say that today is National Women's Day, so this is our day to celebrate and do the things that bring us joy and can bring joy to others. If you are here on Friday, March 8th at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're in the chat room right next door. Pop in and say hello, or feel free to lurk, whichever makes you more comfortable. But I promise none of us bite. So today, like I said, we're going to be talking about embellishments. Now, I'm not going to be getting overly creative with the embellishments. My whole point is to show that there are ways to make some really neat embellishments for your journals with or without special tools. So, and I'm recording this late in the evening because the first video didn't turn out very well, so I apologize if we have shadows. And I'll try not to yawn too much. I'm going on very little sleep. We're going to talk about ribbon trims today with paper. We're going to talk about tabs with or without a tab punch. We're going to talk about whale tails or variations thereof. And we're going to talk about flowers. Let's start with the simple tabs, trims for your page. Now, I'm not going to embellish these. I'm just going to show you how you can actually just make your base and then go crazy from there on how you choose to embellish or not. Now, I have had this video planned for over a week, and I'm digging back here. I need a punch. And I noticed today that Luise Heinzl posted a video about 4 days ago on making tabs and embellishing them. So I'm going to link that video for you down below so you can go watch and enjoy Luise's process. I'm just going to show you about making the base, bases. I am so sorry. Okay, now there are multiple ways you can do these. If you have a punch or you have a die, and I'm going to use a darker paper this time. I used light ones when I did this the first time around. So let's start with this pink, and I'm going to slide it in here. Got a bird there that's sticking. And that gives me a perfect tab. Okay? Now, but what if you don't have a fancy dancy punch? We got you covered. I'm going to set this over here and try not to lose it. Why, there's my little dish. Sorry, rabbit hole. Okay, squirrel. Okay, so let's start by making these. Now, the thing with these is you need two things. You need a pair of scissors, and you need a rectangular piece of paper, which means it's going to be longer than it is narrow. So I'm going to just kind of eyeball that, cut that off, and then we're going to fold it in half. Horizontal, fold it in half. Now keep in mind, this is the part that's going to go over your page. It's going to slide over your page just like this. So you're not going to do much of anything to this side, except I am going to even it up just a little bit because it's driving me crazy. Okay, now, what we need is this little mountain and a couple of ski slopes. So all we're going to do is I'm going to do this by folding this in half. Now, I'm not going to crease it. I don't want to crease. But I'm going to figure out approximately how wide I want my tab. And then I'm just going to curve down and curve back. And I have a tab. Okay, and you can make that as wide or as narrow as you want it. You can make it narrow and then clip these out of your way. Either way works. Now, one of the ways that Luise shows in her video is to use an envelope punch board. And I think a lot of us have those. So I'm going to take this rectangular piece and I'm going to fold it in half again on the horizontal. And I'm going to bring in my envelope punch board. And I'm doing mine just a little bit differently than Luise does. the fold is always going to go against your flat part up here. You're always going to go in with your seam or your fold in first. Now she lined the point up with this track, and then she punched. Now then she slid hers over and she went this way and lined the punch up with that arrow. I'm just going to flip mine over. So in against the board, underneath, line that point up and punch. Pull it out, flip it over, and repeat. Okay, then you have something that looks like this. Come back in with your scissors and just punch those off. Just like that. And now you have a tab. Okay? That easy. So those are our tabs. Okay, we have multiple tabs now that we can add trims to. We can add a trim to this. And I don't have my good glue over here with me, and it's one of the reasons I'm not decorating today. So then there's the whale tail. Now, there's a couple of things with the whale tail, and I think I'll leave mine over here. Yep, mine are in the basket over here behind me. I'm going to look see if I can grab my dies really quick. They're not necessary for this. I just wanted to show. And they're buried in this basket somewhere really good. Oh, there they are. Okay, so we have a couple of things. We have our whale tail punch. We have these whale tail dies that I bought from Spectrum Art Creations in 3 different sizes. And when I make mine for my journal, I'm going to be probably using the smallest one. You'll know how dies work, so I'm not going to show you this one. I'm not going to dig out my die cutter and do that. But I am going to show you with the punch. And I know there's a new company out that has punches now too, and I think Maddie had those. So let's take a piece of, we're going to see if I have some scrap handy. Let's use, if I can get a hold of it, let's use this piece of green. And I like to turn it this way so I can see where I'm punching. Just like that. Okay? And then you fold it over and you have your tab. Now, what if you don't have a handy dandy punch and you're waiting for your die set to come in from Spectrum Art Creations, but you need your punch, you need your whale tail now? Well, let's make one. Take a piece of paper, and I'm going to make this one a little narrower than I had originally. So I'm going to trim this off a little bit. So you're going to start with almost a square, and you can use a square. Fold it in half, and keeping in mind you want this is your fold, and then you want your circle down here. In fact, I'm going to cut this one a little narrower, just like that. Okay, and I'm going to come down, and I'm going to curve in, and then I'm going to curve around. Now, I have a start there. I'm going to fold it over, kind of like when we do our tabs, or our tags that we want to make the same shape at the top. Not exactly rounded, but you can fine tune it. Once you get a basic shape, you can fine tune it. Just like that. Okay, and then you have a tab. Because all you're going to see on the outside of your journal is this anyway. And you can take and turn around and you can decorate this. Maybe put a flower on it. Oh wait, a flower. That's what we're going to do next. So hold that thought, and I get the little trimmings out of the way, and we're going to talk flowers. What if you don't have any of those store-bought flowers, like I made for mine? What if you don't have any of these handy, and you want flowers in your journal? And as you can see, I can make them any color I want. These were done with my Easter egg die. So, here's what you need. Something round. And then you need a piece of paper, and let's use this yellow. I've not used it in this video, so let's use this yellow. You want a circle, so whether you use a circle punch or you have to draw around something, but you're going to start with a basic circle. Now I'm going to draw a couple of them here, and I'll show you why. Then you're going to come back with your scissors, and you're going to cut your circles out. I know, cussy cutting Aunt Carol, I'm sorry, but we need circles. Okay, so we're going to come by and we're going to cut out our circle, just like this. And notice as I'm closing the jaws, I'm turning the paper. Get to the tip, reposition, and repeat. Now, I'm not worried about my pencil marks tonight. I'm okay with these, but I am going to go ahead and cut out both of these. Just like this. And how are we doing on time? No, 10 minutes. We have 10 minutes to play with flowers and do a page edge. We're going to make our own paper ribbon. Okay, so there's that. Now, this does get a little fidgety to work with, but you're going to take your circle and fold it in half. Then you're going to take your circle, your half circle, and you're going to fold it in half. And then you're going to fold it in half one more time. So you have something that looks like this. Okay? Little cone. Now we're going to take that cone and we're going to start down here at the bottom of the tip. You do not want to cut this tip or you're going to have individual petals. You need to come up about, I don't know, maybe 1/8 of an inch. And come up and cut your petal shape. Just like that. And then I'm going to turn it over so I make sure I don't cut that tip. And I'm going to come up about 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to cut my petal shape. Okay? So without a punch, you have a flower. And this is a little fidgety for me with my trimmers tonight. It's because I'm so tired. You ever had those nights where you know you're looking for something and you can't find it and you can't sleep until you find it? That was me last night. So there we have a flower, okay? We're going to repeat this. Do it again. Hold it. So you're folding it 3 times to give yourself that little ice cream cone shape, okay? Then you're going to trim. You know, and this is great if you go like on vacation or something and you don't want to take all of your toys with you, but you need to do something. As long as you have paper and scissors, you're good to go. Most any place you go is going to have something around, a salt shaker or something. Heck, use a quarter. A little fidgety to do, but use a quarter. Open this up. And now, you can stack these. Just alternate how you lay them in there. And you can do as many of these layered as you want. I did a couple here that I only did 4 folds. And did those. And then put a yellow one in the center. And if you want to put a flower center in there, come back with your 1/4 inch punch. Your standard office punch. And I've got a piece of scrap here that's got pattern on it, so let's use that. And we'll punch that out. And then we can lay that in the center of our flower for our flower. And it's that simple. Okay, so now we've made flowers. We have about 5 minutes left. Let's make our paper ribbon. Again, doesn't take a whole lot of tools. I should have a scrap over here I can pull. Let's do this peachy tone. Okay, now I am going to trim this down just a bit. It's a little wide. So I am going to trim this down just a little bit. Okay. And this is a matter of just folding. You can do it with all your folds going the same way. So fold over. Fold over. And when you get it all folded down, you can go back underneath. Use my Cosmic Shimmer, it'll dry quick. If I can get it open, it'll dry quick. And you can come back up underneath this little fold. Stick you a spot of glue. Hold it for a minute till that glue sets. Now, what if you want to do something a little totally different? See, this is going this way. You need to secure it. What I would do with this, let me finish this first, then I'll show you what I would do with the back, okay? You can also fold one direction, and then you can come back and fold this one up to meet it. Now you want to leave a little bit of a gap. You don't want them kissing one another. Leave a little bit of a gap, and then you come back and leave one and fold back to meet. Holding it in the air with my trimmers doesn't work very well, okay? So you can do it either way. I like with it going this direction, with everything flowing the same way. And it's actually faster to do this. Okay. So let me get this one folded down. And bring back my Cosmic Shimmer and glue down the ones that aren't glued. Just a little dot under there is all it takes. Okay, and we're going to come back to this front. Whoops. Okay, well, let's hold that down in place. Let that glue set for a minute. As long as you don't tear it back apart with your glued fingers. Okay, now, I have Terrace tape here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a strip of Terrace tape down the center of that. We've created that little folded ribbon. Now we're going to come back with our Terrace tape and run it down through the center. Burnish that in place really good. I know I've got a bone folder here somewhere. Burnish that in place. Peel your paper back away. And then come back in with a strip of a different color or a piece of pattern. Let's come back in with this sheet of green. And it needs to be about there. And narrow it down a little bit. And you have a paper ruffle that you can put as a tab. You can make it the entire length of your page. And have just a real nice addition and a pop of color to what would normally be a very plain page. Okay, you can continue to decorate this. You could put one of those flowers on here. You could put multiple flowers on here if you're using the full length and add additional embellishment to that paper ribbon. Okay, it is way past my bedtime. Remember that tomorrow is Sack Saturday. I have a video up and ready to go for tomorrow. It's a short Spectrum Art haul. But then tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you will find our Saturday live sale at Spectrum Art Creations. Their YouTube channel as well as their store and Etsy links are in the description box below. If you've not been to Spectrum Art Creations, please go check them out. Oh, one more quick thing. I was going to show you this, and then actually we can do it on the flower. Let me come back with a piece of pink. Oh, this orange. This orange will work. I wanted to show you about page hole reinforcers using your 1/4 inch punch and your 1/2 inch punch. And you can use these that you can reinforce something, a hole that you make that you want to hang a dangle from. You can also use them for page elements. That punch didn't come off very good. You can also use them for page elements on your flowers. If you want a little extra, I'm going to put a little spot of glue right there and just kind of slide this sideways. And then you'll have a center for your flower, or you can put it on the side of your tab. And you know I'm going to wear glue, right? It's just, it's a given. But you can put this on the edge of your tab, punch that hole back through, put one on this side to match, and then you have a reinforced hole that you can put a dangle on. Okay? So that's it. I'm officially done. I will see you back here tomorrow for my Spectrum Art Creations haul and Sack Saturday. In the meantime, remember to like, share, subscribe. Enjoy National Women's Day and creative blessings.